Service. This is Easy Boomer. It's my sports camera and unicycle, which helps me move faster. In a video shorter than 15 minutes, I would like to show you a place so that you can decide whether you like it and if it is worth visiting. Or maybe you expected something different and a trip here would be a waste of time. Today, Poznań, the cradle of Polishness. We start at the buildings of the Adam Mickiewicz University in Poznań and the monument to the poet himself. We set off along the street of St. Martin on the right with the Poznań Philharmonic building, and on the left the former imperial castle built in the first years of the 20th century, currently the largest cultural center in the city. On the right, a tram with a post office bank building in the background. Do you also like trams as much as I do? We turn left to take a closer look at the Imperial Castle. On the left, there is a huge building of Collegium Maist, the medical university in Poznań, and we turn right and go to the neo-Gothic Church of the Holy Savior, today Catholic and originally evangelical. Now we go back to Fredry and Gornish streets to St. Martin in search of spring and another tram. Oh, we're lucky. We find both. Aren't these trees nicely trimmed? Opposite us on the right, the Church of St. Martin, after whom this street is named, and we turn left towards Wolności Square, meaning Freedom Square. There is the square itself. On one of its edges, the so-called Arcadia building behind which there is the now invisible Polish Theater, and we turn around and observe the building of the National Museum with a flag fluttering in the wind. We pass the museum building, and for a moment we look towards the monument of the Poznań Ulan against the background of the Church of St. Antony. In the background we see the tower of the royal castle in Poznań. Meanwhile, we head straight to Poznań's Old Market Square. We enter the market square from the side of Neptune's fountain with a characteristic trident in his hand. As you will see, there will be a fountain of this type on every corner. Next will be Apollo, and the last will be Mars. Who's on the third fountain? You can't count on such emptiness in the middle of the day. I assure you that it is quite a crowded and noisy place, and only the morning commute makes it different. There's also Apollo, and right behind it, I must admit my favorite object of the Poznań market square, i.e. the so-called Budnik's cottages. Property of slightly poorer merchants, initially trading here in the so-called herring stalls, which around 1534 were transformed into brick tenement houses. Then the town hall with a clock and a place for the famous Poznań goats, which beheads at noon and at 3 p.m. What is that figure in the fountain? Meanwhile, we are moving on, and in a moment we will see the fountain of Mars up close. On the left, the building of the Greater Poland Uprising Museum from 1918. Now, at a much faster pace, we will go to Ostrów Tumski, the only island on the Warta River within the administrative borders of Poznań. Together with Gniezno, Poznań's Ostrów Tumski was one of the two main centers of secular and ecclesiastical power in the Old Poland state, i.e. before Poland was founded. The Archcathedral Basilica of St. Apostles Peter and Paul, towards which we are heading, is slowly emerging on the horizon. To emphasize how old a place for Poland we are going, we will cross the bridge of Bolesław the Brave, the first king of Poland. And here we are, in the cradle of Polishness. In front of us is the oldest Polish cathedral. The original one, built in 968, was replaced by the current Gothic one from the turn of the 14th and 15th centuries. It is the burial place of the first rulers of Poland. On the right, the palace of the archbishops of Poznań. Meanwhile, we are finishing our ride around Poznań. I hope you now know whether it is worth visiting. And if you are in love or have fallen in love with Poznań, put a padlock on the emerging red bridge. See you in the next city.